Jim, a point apiece here. What did you make of the game?
I thought the end result was fair, if I'm being honest. I thought Motherwell were the better team in the opening 45 minutes, and but for a really good save for Jack Anick, we could have found ourselves going a couple of goals behind. But we had words at half time. I felt we were going far too long, too early in the first half, and we had to shorten our passing and try and get Doyle Hayes and McGrath in the game, and I felt we'd done that in the second half, and I thought we controlled the second 45 for large spells. Really, Motherwell never caused us any problems in the second 45, apart from the great free kick that O'Hara has and a brilliant save from Jack Anick. I felt we were comfortable in the second half, but over the whole piece, I think a draw is fair. And to be honest with you, I knew it was going to be a difficult game today, because the last thing you want is to be facing a team with a new manager, and I knew the Motherwell players would give Graham a reaction, and I thought they certainly did that in the first 45 minutes. You don't expect to just bowl up here today and turn over a team like Motherwell. They're a good side. People need to remember that they've still got the same squad of players who finished third in the table last year. For me, they're underachieving at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them get some results in the coming weeks and start climbing the table. So with all of that considered, I am pleased with the point.
As you mentioned there as well, with the new manager, how much more difficult does that make preparation during the week, because you don't really know how the new manager is going to kind of set up? No,
exactly. You don't know what personnel he's going to go with. Stephen Robinson was very fixed on his 4-3-3 and had the same pretty much personnel wise, and you knew how they were going to play in terms of building from the back into the middle, whereas obviously a new manager comes in, you don't know if he's going to stick with that same system or if he's going to come in and change things up and completely change the style of football. So we just kind of had to give the boys as much information as we felt we could on the individuals that they were going to be facing, and not really talk too much about how Motherwell tactically were going to set up. But I felt Motherwell were a dangerous team from the set plays. There was some great delivery coming in, and that's the one thing that disappoints me, is the manner in which we concede the goal. We defended the first part well. Connor gets a decent header on the second phase. Potentially could have been a foul. I think if Connor goes over, he actually gets a free kick from Bobby Madden. But we drop Devante Cole, and that's why we found ourselves going behind. But I did feel at the time that the goal was coming. I felt that we were getting penned back, and I felt Motherwell were the better team at that point. So listen, we're pleased that it's that we've showed good character to come back. It was very similar to last Saturday's game, where we've got to come from a goal behind, and I've got to give credit to the players for being able to do that again.
Yeah, how pleased were you with the second half reaction?
Well, look, that's what we asked for at half time. We knew we had to improve. We knew we couldn't we couldn't have been much worse than what we were in the first half, and I just felt that if we shortened the passing a little bit and stopped hitting the big long ones all the time and gave the ball into the middle of the park and got it wide to get crosses in the box, I felt we'd get a bit of success. And we had a great opportunity. Ethan's really unlucky with the cutback, and it just goes by the post. If that goes in, then obviously it would have been interesting. I think we get the penalty, which I haven't had a chance to see it back, but I certainly heard contact on Lee Irwin, and delighted that the referee obviously had given it. And Jamie McGrath, you'd always fancy Jamie in that situation anyway, but we weren't satisfied with just taking the point. We wanted to go and try and get the win, and in fairness to the players, they kept going, and in the end we weren't able to get there, but I think it's a good point against a good team.
You managed to get Eamon Brophy on the park today as well. How pleased were you with that?
I thought Eamon done really well actually, and himself and Lee Irwin played really well as a pairing, and it's not something that we've done a great deal this season in terms of playing two up front. The 4-3-3 has served as well, but I just wanted to see how Motherwell would react to playing against two natural centre forwards, and I thought the two lads were excellent together actually. I thought Lee Irwin in particular today, he's had his criticism, and he's obviously been very badly affected by COVID when he got it, and we're working hard on his fitness to try and get him up to speed. But I thought today he showed glimpses of what he's capable of, and certainly in the second half, he held the ball up well for us. He won a number of flick-ons, and he's heavily involved in the penalty.
A couple of the boys were out today: John Obika, Brandon Mason, Christian Dennis. How are they all doing?
Christian Dennis unfortunately got a slight calf issue last week, and he's away for an injection in that yesterday, so we would expect Christian to be back in amongst the group next week. John Obika picked up a bruise on the sole of his foot against Kilmarnock, and Brandon Mason had just kind of reoccurrence of the injury that he picked up against Livingston. You know, his ankle hasn't quite healed 100%, and it's persistently getting sorer and sorer, so that's why Brandon wasn't available either. So fortunately we were able to get Brophy over the line late last night, and he came straight into the squad today. It's not something I would normally have done, but given the circumstances with Obika out, Christian Dennis out, we were delighted to be able to add Eamon, and delighted that he was willing to accept it as well, because some players wouldn't have been as brave to just go straight in and meet the boys at 1:30 on a match day. So, and he played a part when he came on. I thought you see the qualities that he brings, and obviously Colin Quainer is in as well, which we're delighted with. Colin's played at a really high level, slightly different to Eamon in terms of Colin hasn't done played a great deal of games because he's been without a club since leaving Huddersfield, but he's been training. He's naturally a fit lad anyway. We don't think it's going to take a great deal of time to get him up to speed. We'll try and get him involved in the squad next Saturday, depending on how training goes during the week, and we'll just build it up from there.
Jim, thanks very much for your time.
Thanks very much.